Hello everyone, my name is Ijaz and I make videos in JavaScript and add some AI into the mix. Today we'll go over this project photo inspect and see how can we identify objects in an image. It can be any image that you have, and we'll identify and label as many objects as possible and put a bounding box. We'll just put a boundary around that object and we'll label that object. So you can see on the screen, this is the application, and we will first select an image. Let's say that I'll select this image with cats and dogs, and we'll just click on this process and we'll see if it can identify. So you can see that it's quite quick, and it is able to identify and label and put a box around the object, and it was able to correctly label the animals over here. So let's try another example. So I have few toys in this picture, so we want to identify and label each of these. So if I just click on process, so you can see it was able to identify each of these objects, as well as over here inside the car it was even able to identify a wheel. But the thing is, it's not always 100% perfect. There could be scenarios where it might not be able to identify all the objects in the image. So let's take this one picture. I downloaded it from the internet, and if I hit process, so you can see it is able to identify the chairs, lamps, monitor, but the cushions it cannot identify, and the door, window. The thing is, the model has to be trained to identify the objects. So if the model has never seen that image before, so it cannot identify, or if the image is not that clear, then again it cannot identify, or if the angle is such that the image is, again, it's not very clear what exactly is this image, so it cannot identify. But the thing is, we can train the model with our own products, and in that way the model will be able to identify more objects. Now I'll go over maybe one more pic that I have downloaded from the internet. So here it's pretty good with a lot of items in this. Now if I just process, so you can see it is able to identify only a fireplace, this couch and candle, but it was not able to identify the cushions or this vase, or so a lot of things it was not able to identify. So so the thing is, these things we have to test around which one suits us, and how efficient it is, and if the model we can train, so we should train it with our own data set. So I'll go over how I built this project. So over here, when I started building this project, I wanted it to be quick and easy service to identify the objects of an image. So I first tried the TensorFlow models. So Coco has a large data set of objects it can identify, so I thought maybe this could be a good fit for us. So when and the setup was also quite easy. We don't have just a few packages we have to install, and but the thing is, this is a pre-trained model. So I tried with this model, so the results were not very good, because of course we have to train to make it better. Next was YOLO V8. It's very famous, like for object detection. YOLO is very famous. You can see that this one, YOLO V8, it can classify, detect, segment. This is very famous, but again I could not find it deployed or hosted anywhere. Even in Hugging Face I couldn't find it. So, or if it is there, so I would like you to please share in the comments so that I can try. So I thought I will go with Amazon's Rekognition. it's very easy to use actually. So because it just provides an API, and in fact we can use AWS SDK to use this feature, use this service. So over here it has many features actually. You can see it can detect, do the face compare, it can do face detection where it is identifying the gender, it is identifying whether the eyes are open, closed, it's smiling, so emotions and everything it can tell. Even for content moderation and text detection, custom labels, lot of things are there. So this is the labels that we'll be using. So, and it even supports videos, not just images. So I thought maybe I can give it a try. So of course, to use it we need AWS account. So that's it we need. And yeah, and if you want to go to the documentation, you can just go to the documents of Rekognition, and over here we have API reference, and then just click on Amazon Rekognition here, API service, API reference. So this is that page that comes up, I think so. Yeah, that page that comes up. Now these are the different features that it provides, and what we are going to use is detect labels. And I will next let me go over the code to show how I was able to build it. So if I just open the code, yeah, so this application is built in NextJS, and for styling I have used Tailwind, and AWS SDK is for the Amazon packages. Formidable serverless I'm using for forms, as I will be sending a form from the front end to the API route, and React Hot Toast is just for displaying some toast. And this is the only environment variables that we need. We need access ID, access key, and the region, whichever region you are in. Then we will be building a process API. This is an API route. This is the only route actually, because we will make a post call with the image in the form, and we'll parse that form and extract the image. And this image we will be reading. We'll do a read file sync so that it returns a buffer, and we'll build a parameter that Rekognition detect labels need, which is image at bytes is the key, and then image has to be a buffer. Then how many labels, that how many objects you want it to return. So I'm saying that maximum 10 labels it should return. And how much is the confidence, because whenever the model identifies an object, it lists a confidence level, that how much confident the model is that this cup is a cup, or this man, the person, is a person. So the model will tell that this is my confidence level. So according to that you can filter out. If you don't want anything more than 90% confidence, so it will not return anything. If you don't want anything less than 90% confidence, so the model or this API will not return anything less than 90%. And then once we get the response, the response has basically labels. Labels is an object, which labels is actually an array of objects. So I'll show what exactly is in this. So once we get it, we just return it to the front end. Now in the front end, this is the index.js. Over here you can see it just an HTML with some header, intro. But yeah, we have this file upload component where I'm uploading the file and making an API call. And then once I have the image, I display the image here. Once I select the file, I'm displaying the image here. And once we have the labels from the API route, I'm iterating through each label, and each label that is returned, it will give us the bounding box, and using that we can build an absolute div with some boundary of any color. And then this is the dimension that we can give in the bounding box, and then the label, whatever is the name that the model returns, we can put it here. And I'll quickly go through the file upload where I'm making an API call. So over here in the HTML you can see it says upload an image file and handle file change, and then there is a button named process which will handle the process, that is when we will call the process API. So once we handle file change, so we are just displaying that image on the HTML, but once we click on handle process, it will trigger handle process API function, and which will hit the API process, and then it will return the labels. and we are just setting those labels. And I'll just quickly show the labels, what exactly are in the labels. So if I go here and let me select the toys, okay, and let me open the console. Okay, so over here, yeah, these are the old ones. So if I just click on process, so over here you can see we just got an array of objects. Now over here you can see we have a cricket ball. So over here you can see the name it has returned, the model has returned a cricket ball. It has a confidence of 60% because we filtered till 50%. And inside the instance we will get the position, the left and top. Over here the left and top is basically the top coordinate, the top left coordinate, and then the width and height. Using that we can build the box. Now one more thing was, yeah, the car, because we have two cars in here. Yeah, we have two cars in here, blue and yellow. So over here you can see when we, yeah, if we open for the car, you can see we have two instances. So it will group the instances together, and over here the name is car, but it was able to find two instances of two cars. So that is why the dimensions, the positions are different. So it has given us the coordinates accordingly. That's all for this video. I hope you liked it. If you like it, you can hit the like button. If you want more, if you want to be up to date with more videos like this, you can click on subscribe, and I'll share the code, the GitHub repo link, so you can try the code and maybe start the repo if you liked it. Thank you.